Hey folks, my name is David Bourne. I live in the beautiful western North Carolina. It's a summer day here, late August 2021. Quite a year of tumult, as you probably know, no matter where you are. And I am here today to talk about why I have decided to do life coach training, which is something I didn't think I was going to do. Several weeks ago, I first came across this idea and I thought, well, I'll never do that. But as time went on, I changed my mind because things started coming into alignment and things started to make a lot of sense. And it helps to just have a little bit of background on what I've been doing for the past year and a half. Just about every day I've been writing about this idea that I just thought was a cool idea that I saw Tony Robbins in a video I saw back in 2013. He had this piece of paper and it had 4 quadrants. So you take a piece of paper and you draw 2 lines, one in the middle and one in the vertical axis. And he said, this is why some people succeed and other people don't. He called it the success cycle or something like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then a few years later, I came across a book called The Quadratos by a guy named Alexander John Shia, and it was about this 4-part idea. And it was about the 4 Gospels of the Bible, of the Christian faith. And he talked about how you could understand Christianity and a journey through those 4 parts. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Then I realized, that's really the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell started talking about in the 50s when he wrote his book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And of course, that became quite interesting to a lot of people, filmmakers in particular, like me, storytellers, people who realized, there's this thing called the hero's journey. So many stories, so many myths talk about. And I'd been fascinated by that, and Jungian psychology and depth psychology. Just had a kind of a fascination with it. Never really studied it in earnest. But a year ago, I started writing about this cycle, this 4-part cycle, about a year and a half ago. And then I came across this book. This book came out by this really energetic woman named Martha Beck. And sure enough, she started talking about Dante's Inferno and how Dante used this 4-part cycle to talk about life and talk about how we move through life as human beings and understand ourselves and understand just the universe, and how there was this deep connection to things. And I just thought, wow, this is really making a lot of sense. And the next thing you know, another woman that I've been wondering about for years after I saw her amazing TED Talk, a woman named Bolte-Taylor. I've been waiting for her to write another book and explain to us how we could just tap into this oneness that she found as she had a stroke. She was a Harvard-trained brain researcher working at Harvard, and she had a stroke and realized this amazing connection with the world and understood our brain psychology so much better by having this visceral, true life experience where she totally lost herself. She just became this kind of infantile being without a self, in a way, but yet felt this connection to the universe. And I thought, all these things, they all make sense. So it just started to sink in, is all I can say. This idea that, this whole 4-part journey thing that I've been wondering about for a year and a half, I think this really is saying to me that I want to take a more active part of this journey. That's one of the things the cycle, the 4-part cycle, teaches us, is when you're really fully active, that's when you start to really learn, you really change, you really grow, you really can become a hero, where you can learn something new and bring that newness into your community and and really begin to make a difference in the world. And I want to make a difference. I want to have greater purpose. I want to have more meaningful life. And doesn't everybody want that? So I just realized that this has been calling me in all these things that I've just called interests, for years. And I started looking back on my life and, some of the major events in my life that changed me and how I dealt with those events, and started seeing the cycle in that. So all that to say, this is why I have decided to take this life coach training, just because it fits into where I am in my journey. And it just seems like this is the next thing. So where's that going to lead? I don't know, but it seems pretty exciting. And so decided to make a short video about it to document my day. I signed up for this class today. It's going to be starting in a month or so, and then it'll be another 9 months, and I'm going to be helping other folks go through this, these ideas of stages, and trying to figure out, well, how do we know how to have a more fulfilled, interesting life of wholeness and connection. And really, the reason I'm outside is because nature and the outdoors is so important to me, and I want to make that somehow a part of all this. I'm not sure how yet, but just the wonder and awe that I find in nature is so powerful, and I want to extend that as I go forward. So if you've made it so far through this, thanks for listening, and hopefully we can connect and learn more from each other about this journey that we're on together. Again, I'm David Bourne. You can find me at davidbourne.com out there on the web. I hope to see you out there. Cheers.